Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for Monday, September 25th of 2023. Thank you all for joining me in this horoscope, this astrology forecast, this marvelous Monday. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful weekend. I had a pretty chill weekend, I would say. It's actually very, very chill. So Saturday was very eye-opening, spiritual. I went to like a men's meeting, which I've never been to one of those, like a spiritual men's meeting. That was awesome. Got to kind of release a good bit and took in a lot of great information and wisdom and kind of just honestly altered my perspective on how to move forward and stuff like that. So very grateful I went to that. And then yesterday I just was like took care of stuff in the morning, then watched football for like most of the rest of the day. So I had a good weekend. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful weekend as well. So let's hop into the forecast for today. And not gonna lie, guys, today's kind of a chill day. There's not really a whole lot of stuff going on today. So that's why I even put the meditation as value the eloquence of silence, not to eloquence. Let me fix that real fast. Value the eloquence of silence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How, every so often, the astrology would throw a couple of these days at us where it's kind of chill. There's not a whole lot of major things going on. There's some exact aspects coming up today. We're also coming off some aspects and we're building up to some other ones. So this is one of those days where it's kind of in between. It's kind of just chill. And because it's a chill day, amongst all of the craziness, we can almost want to create more drama, especially with the sun in Libra with Mars and the South Node there. We could almost want to create drama because, like, yo, it's too quiet, it's too chill. What's going on here? There's no need to be apprehensive because things aren't like all over the place and spastic, right? But let's just hop into it, right? So we do have, of course, that moon over here in Aquarius today. And we do have, of course, the sun having clicked fully into Libra. Happy equinox. And sun, of course, is in its fall position, hence the name fall. Now, we do have Mercury, which is trining Jupiter today. This happened early in the morning. This is happening exactly right now at this moment, 8:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we have this trine. So this is a nice little trine here, of course. This is definitely bringing off some nice Earth energy. And Mercury, while it is still in shadow, it's still moving fast. Now, Jupiter is retrograde, mind you. So Jupiter, of course, is not at its full strength. Mercury is very strong in this trine. And it's going to give us this opportunity to, like, you know what? And it's at a degree that likes to be at 1 plus 4 is 5. So that is its own degree. This is definitely going to give us, this sort of sneak peek. And it's like, well, you know what? If we really want to expand in our lives, right? Even when things are feeling slow and sluggish, because Jupiter in Taurus is pretty slow, is pretty sluggish, right? How can we, kind of peer into the details of those situations? And how can we find some gifts there? How can we find some magic in those situations? Mercury is definitely wanting to organize a lot of different things, especially in Virgo. It's wanting to compartmentalize a lot of things. And Jupiter just wants to expand, but it's a deflating energy, and it's in Taurus, which makes it even slower. This is the bull that just simply doesn't want to move. This is the bull that is like, this is the bull that wants to just honestly chill and just eat and not impregnate the cows. Like that, that's really what this energy is. And Mercury's trying to figure out, like, all right, what kind of plan can I come up with to get this bull to impregnate these cows? Or that's just the example that I have. Now I know a lot of times what they'll do in these farms that they will inseminate the cows if the bulls won't do anything. You know what I mean? So it's almost like they have to take matters into their own hands and inseminate the cows themselves with the semen of the bull. I know that this is a very weird analogy. That's the one that came up. So forgive me for that. But that's just kind of what this is, and especially because like the reason why I'm thinking that is like Jupiter, like I said, this is Zeus. Zeus is a horn dog, right? But retrograde in Taurus, he doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to do shit, right? He wants to go at his own pace and fuck everything else, right? He wants to go at his own pace, and he's just not at his full strength. It's more internal. This is actually when Jupiter is actually meditating. Believe it or not, this is actually when Jupiter is meditating. So, Leo, you're loud. Or my cat was like going off. So, this is definitely an interesting trine here where Mercury is sort of like, and remember, this is Hermes and Jupiter. Hermes and Jupiter talk to each other a lot, even though they oppose each other in the chart. Mercury rules Gemini, Jupiter rules Sagittarius. They talk to each other a lot. Jupiter is always sending Mercury. It's like, hey, deliver this message, deliver this message. And Mercury is trying to get Zeus, Hermes is trying to get Zeus, like, hey, so, we kind of need you to kind of like get up and get out of the mud a little bit, and what is there anything that you want to say to the people, to the other gods? Is there any messages that you want to bring forward? And Jupiter's like, nah, I'm cool just chilling here in my hot tub. He's like, that's a mud pit that you're hanging out in, Zeus. Oh, it's a mud pit. Oh well, it's yeah. I'm chilling in my mud pit. This is literally it's like Shrek chilling in his mud pit. That's what it kind of feels like. And Mercury's just sort of like, especially being in Virgo, Mercury's just like, okay, that's a little gross. Well then, I guess I'm gonna just, I don't know. Do you have any message at all? And Jupiter is just like, tell them to go within themselves. Tell them to seek silence within themselves. And Mercury's like, okay, I guess if that's the message. So it's an interesting trine. Like I said, these earth trines, this earth medicine, if you will, because that's what I'm actually seeing these trines as. Like a lot of people like say that, oh, they're miracles. There's a very positive aspect. I'm trying to see it as like medicine, and medicine is not always designed to taste good. And I'm learning, especially with these earth trines, that these are the medicines that are definitely not designed to taste good. This is like natural earth remedies and stuff like that. This is like castor oil type shit. You know what I'm saying? I had a lady that called up to the store the other day, like Southern G-Ma sounding person, made my day asking for castor oil. And I work at a CBD store, and I'm like, sorry, we don't have castor oil, but if we did have black castor oil, I kind of wish that we did, so you can come in and talk to me about your grandkids for like an hour and shit, because you just sound like a cool person. But these trines, that's what they kind of are. It's kind of like castor oil, especially with the earth trines. So that's that deeper, earthy medicine that might make you be like, oh, but it will heal your ass, make you feel better. So that's kind of the way I'm feeling with the trines, at least with the earth trines. It definitely feels like a herbal type of medicine, right? So now the other main thing that really happens today, if you will, is that you're going to see the moon square over to Jupiter as well. So, and it does King Kong's Mercury as well during this time too. I didn't put that at the ticker at the bottom just because I didn't really feel like that was a major aspect. But you want to see this moon, of course, is going to square Jupiter at 14 degrees today. So you get the medicine, and then immediately you get the challenging with the square aspect. Now, the moon much rather be where Jupiter is in Taurus. Jupiter in Aquarius, I mean, it, Jupiter in Aquarius is like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's normally in Sag, and it would sextile the Aquarian energy. So I wouldn't say that it would probably prefer to be in Aquarius over Taurus. I will say that. So there's kind of a mutual reception here, kind of, but that's the thing about it. It's trying to take its mutable fire into a fixed air. So the only way that the spark really works is if they can match frequencies. So it's like that's the thing here. It's like that moon in Aquarius, it definitely makes us a little bit more, I wouldn't say emotionally distant, but just sort of like, it puts us in a state where, it's a weird kind of empathy that we have whenever the moon goes into Aquarius, because we go from the Aquarius kind of deal. We can't just pour and give water to one person. We got to make sure there's people in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like Aquarius can't just spend so much time giving water to the first person in line. There's 100 people in this line, and it has to keep going. And just because it keeps going, and then that other person is like, "Well, I want more water," and that person may start to throw insults at Aquarius, like, "Oh, you don't care about me. You're not compassionate. Oh, you're not really empathetic." But now Aquarius like, "Yo, do you see? I have a bunch of people in this soup line. I can't just focus on you." The moon in Aquarius gives us it lets us know that, like, you know what, many times, many times, many times, it's them, it's not you, and we can't take it personally. So whenever the moon goes into Aquarius, it's a time where we don't take things as personally. It allows us to kind of detach a bit emotionally, but we can still be empathetic. And there's two different things here. And being empathetic and being emotional are two different things. There's empathy is like, it's sort of like an evolved, I guess. You have like your emotions, and then you have empathy. So it kind of emanates from emotion, or actually, emotions probably emanate from empathy. Probably the other way around. Um, but it's not so much to the point where, when you're truly empathetic, right? And you're able to set those proper emotional boundaries. That's the other thing about whenever the moon goes into Aquarius, that it gives us an opportunity to set healthy emotional boundaries, hopefully without being too distant. That's the other thing about it. Um, but it allows us to connect with other people without allowing their emotions to dictate our personal vibration, right? So that's the thing about this. Now, with this square right here, like I said, Jupiter's kind of in its mud pit, right? Kind of doing the whole Shrek thing. And especially that it's retrograde. Like I said, I would say that if this is a party, it's more like by invitation only. But it's not like Shrek was just inviting people to his swamp either, right? Jupiter in Taurus is like he's just chilling in his swamp. And Uranus happens to be there, and Uranus is donkey, right? But so I mean, Jupiter could be kind of annoyed by donkey, right? Which actually Uranus is actually more like Shrek's dad, which we never see. We don't see Shrek's dad. So um there's an element here where, you know, we kind of want to just be in our own little swamp, if you will, with the Jupiter square. But with Jupiter and Taurus, but then this moon squaring Jupiter is kind of showing us is like, there is more out there. There's more to experience. There's more to explore. There's more people to connect with, but you may just be afraid, or you may just be stuck and wanting to just look a certain way. It's like you can increase the you like your swamp could be like this one little area, but it can be much more inclusive, and it can stretch out and become something more. You know what I mean? And then you can find yourself connecting with other beings and creatures that will also uplift you. So that's the thing about this. It's like this moon in Aquarius, squaring Jupiter, is giving us an opportunity where it's like, you know what, we do. There's an element here where we can expand and we can connect to other people. And even though right now you see them pushing this, they don't want people to come together. They want people to be separate. They want people to be in pods. They want people to go into the metaverse and eat bugs, right? They don't really want you to connect with other people, human to human interaction. They don't really want that, right? This whole Jupiter and Taurus, all of this energy, all these squares that we've had with Venus squaring Jupiter, going back and forth, with Venus that's going to, it's building up to a square with Uranus and everything. All of these squares that have been dealing with the Taurus energy, all these aspects have been dealing with it. it is preparing us for when Jupiter goes into Gemini. And this is all a major test of us finding, okay, what are our values? Do we value ourselves? Will we hold ourselves up to a higher standard in our life? So that when we get to Gemini and we start to actually, and Jupiter, like I said, I'd much rather be in Sagittarius, so it's actually going to be in its fall position. But this is like when the king is talking to the people, right? Will we be able to talk and communicate with people in our local environment and truly connect in a powerful, exalted kind of way, even though Jupiter is going to be in its fall position in Gemini? So that's the thing about this. A lot of these energies are preparing us for what is to come. So when you have a day like this where not a whole lot is going on besides some aspects that the moon is making, and remember, like the moon's going to come off of the square to Jupiter by the end of the day. So you only feel it for a short amount of time, right? Days like today, we should take stock and appreciate the silence and listen to the beauty of the silence, because that's when the answers and the messages from the universe are going to come through, right? The other thing I want to talk about is the fact that Venus is speeding up. This is the last day of Venus moving slower than Mars. It will overtake Mars as far as the speed that they're moving at. So I'll do that, and then I wanted to show you guys, as far as like the speed goes, that Venus does catch up to Mars by the end of the day tomorrow. So let me present and share that screen right there. So if you look over here, you can see Venus is still moving slow at 38:49. Mars is at 39:46. Right? So now I wish there was a way where I can move this one forward, but I can't do that. So I got to go to a different one. So what I'll do is I'll stop sharing that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this forward to tomorrow night. Then you'll see that Venus does, and this is more of a, I'm just talking about this today just because like this is like the last full day of this happening, right? And then you will see that Venus is moving 40 minutes while Mars is moving 39 minutes. So Venus overtakes Mars as far as how fast that they are moving, which means that Venus begins to close the gap on Mars. Now, this gap isn't going to be closed until they get to Aquarius next year. So that's the thing about it. Is the gap's not going to close for a while, but Venus is about to close the gap on Mars. This is the last day of Mars moving faster than Venus. What does that mean? It can mean quite a few things. The image that I got in my head was like young kids and girls chasing boys on the playground. I don't know if girls still do that or they chase each other. I don't know if they do that. But I know when I was a kid, that used to happen. Girls will chase you, you kind of chase them back. And generally, you can outrun them and stuff like that. But sometimes they will close the gap on you after you got tired of something like that, or if you bumped into something. So that's kind of what this is. There's an element here, especially because she's in Leo too. There's an element here where she's going to start to close the gap on Mars. Yeah, it starts tomorrow. It's going to be very subtle, but it's going to be sort of like, we can run as far as our Mars energy. So, our actions, in many ways, our ego, if you will, personality can run and run and run. But Venus, which is in Leo, which is about receiving the joy, the passion, our love, and our hearts, is about to start to close the gap on Mars. You can't outrun it. Mars cannot outrun Venus forever. Venus will catch up and deliver the goods. So let's get into the cards. So there's no point in me really like overly expanding and explaining this day because, like I said, there's not a whole lot going on. So value the eloquence of the silence. You know what I mean? Value that. And it's interesting how I was using the metaphor of Shrek in the swamp with Jupiter. And, Shrek did appreciate his silence. But I think he only really appreciated his silence once he went on this adventure and he saw the world. And then he came back to the swamp. And then he was like, okay. He came back to it with a whole new perspective and realized that he could open his heart, he could find love, he found friends, but then he came out to the swamp and then he can actually appreciate the silence and appreciate the paradise that he had already built for himself. Whereas before, it was more of a prison. He didn't want to bother with anybody, he didn't care, you know what I mean? But he was emotionally distant. He was a nice guy, but he was emotionally distant. But then once he got into the world, met people, expanded his horizons, and then came back, that's when you can really appreciate the silence, right? So let's see what we have for the cards. All right. Card of the day. We have the Page of Cups in reverse. Page of Cups in reverse. Yeah, this is definitely a day where you don't want to get too riled up emotionally if things aren't going exactly the way that you want them to. The Page of Cups very much so is like a romantic kind of energy, if you will. But with it being reversed, it's sort of like it kind of almost felt like unrequited love. And this could be whether you're pursuing someone romantically or even just pursuing the life that you want. It can almost feel like, wow, does the life that I want me? That's the things like you want that life, but does that life want you? You know what I'm saying? So like the Page of Cups in reverse can have us thinking that maybe it doesn't want us and stuff. Don't get too caught up in, that whole paradigm right there. You know what I'm saying? Focus on your day-to-day reality. Focus on what you can do today, right? To uplift your vibration, what you can do today. What steps can you take today to move towards the life that you want? We have that followed by, we have the Five of Wands in reverse. This is not a day to just go out and start creating drama. Like I said, this is a chill day. Allow the day to be chill. Okay, allow the day to be chill and not have a lot of crazy things going on. Five of Wands in reverse. There's no need to go out there and create any dumb drama just because you're used to drama, just because you're used to chaos. It's actually some people have adapted to chaos and craziness that once they experience something that's not chaotic, they don't know what to do. It's like I saw a post on Facebook where it was someone had shared like a thread, and this chick was like, she's like, I finally found a good man, but he's boring. And then she commented on her own thing. She's like, I need some excitement. He's boring and stuff like that. He's a good man, but she was almost craving the drama. Like she wanted to deal with baby daddies and stupid toxic arguments and stuff like that. But no, she found a good man, and this can go both ways too. But she found a good man, and maybe he's bored. Maybe he doesn't go out every night. Maybe he probably just plays video games. Maybe he actually treats you well. Some of you guys are in situations where it's like, I'm being treated well. Things are working out in my favor. The universe is working out for me. Oh, it's like, y'all got any more of that toxicity? Y'all got any more of that narcissism? Like some of y'all are craving that because you're so freaking used to it. Cut that out. Cut that out. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, I told you. Eight of Swords. Get out of your own way. Get out of your own mud. Take the blindfolds off. There's no need for you to be stuck anymore. So, believe it or not, you have manifested this. Believe it or not, you have manifested a life where you are done with that narrative of unnecessary toxic drama. I know it feels weird. To not be there. You feel like you have to do that because you're so used to it. Allow yourself to be where you are. Imagine that. New moon in Capricorn, your hard work is paying off. Clearly, your hard work is paying off. You have built this current life. It's a little bit more chill. It's not, you don't have to deal with as much drama right now, despite the fact that we're about to move into, now we're in the Libra season, drama is about to kick off. But at least for today, realize that your hard work is paying off and that you have created a life where the things that you were dealing with in the past, the drama, the toxicity, the weird relationships, and all that sort of stuff, you have created a life where that's no longer your vibration. And there's a part of you that almost craves it, but don't go back there. There's nothing for you there. Listen to the silence today, and you'll probably get some message about, what exactly you learned from those situations and how you can finally move forward. So that is going to do it for your astrology forecast today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. Use promo code Equinox to receive 30% off your order. And y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful Monday. I will see you guys on Tuesdays. Astrology forecast. Peace.